Okay, so I had my 11th chemo session about 2 weeks ago now. Same old, went there, got the chemo, came home. Nothing new to report there. I'll just quickly go through some of the side. I didn't have that many, well, I don't really get different side effects anymore, but as in, I didn't really have any that were ridiculously bad this time, I don't think, in terms of, like, I had the usual nausea and all of that, but nothing that I couldn't really control. My veins have gone really hard. I mean, they've already been hard, but like they've gone really hard now. I took the chemo in my right hand last time, which is the last one this hand's going to get. And the actual hand didn't hurt this time for some reason. Usually it's around the hand area that it hurts, but it's actually been like where my elbow joint is. The vein there has gone so hard I can't even straighten my arm. It's been 2 weeks now and I still can't fully straighten the arm. It just hurts too much. If I accidentally do straighten it or stretch it too much, I literally scream in pain. That's how much it hurts. So that's been quite bad. I mean, at one point I remember the vein was hurting so much that it actually went up my arm, and I could feel the pain in my shoulder and down my back, because the vein must run all the way up my arm and down my back or something. I don't know, but yeah, I can remember feeling that. My hair's actually stopped falling out on my head, which is weird. I've got a little bit left, but it stopped falling out. But my facial hair, which I hardly have any of, I'm trying to hang on to the little bit that I do have, is falling out like crazy now, and it's almost all pretty much gone. Sorry. So that's been a bit strange. That hair stopped falling out everywhere else except on my face. My hair's actually growing back in like on my legs and stuff. I mean, I've lost hair all over my body, not completely, but a large amount, and it's starting to grow back now. And I think because the follicles are so weak, I'm getting loads of ingrown hairs like on my legs and stuff, because the actual strands of hair are finding it hard to push out of the skin just because they're weak. But obviously once the chemo stops and I'm just recovering, it will grow back as it was, hopefully. Apart from that, yeah, just the usual, just feeling a bit rubbish and all of that. I actually can't think of like an organ or a body part of mine that's not been hit by the chemo. It does literally hit you everywhere. It kills you. It literally kills you. But yeah, I remember last week one day something was hurting inside my, I don't know what it was, but and I was just thinking, bloody hell, like literally everything's been affected at some point. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's literally it's a poison, very bad poison in my eyes. What else? Chemo Brain. It wouldn't be a normal video if I didn't have a Chemo Brain story. There's so many. I don't know. Like, it's just silly little things again I'm doing. As in, I was in my room getting ready once, and I finished getting ready. I was about to leave my room, and I tried turning the light switch off. And I was like, why won't the light turn off? And then I realised I hadn't even switched the light on. My curtains were just open, so it was just sunlight coming in. But I was sitting there trying to switch the light off. What else? I mean, I don't know, like I plugged my phone into charge one day. So I plugged the lead into the bottom of my phone, sat there for ages, and I went on my phone and it hadn't charged. I looked and I hadn't actually plugged the actual plug into the socket. So I don't know, it's just little things like that. It is quite funny, but it's annoying. I mean, what else? I found a lump in my neck the other week, actually, well, a couple of weeks ago. I don't even know when it was. I don't know. But I found a lump in my neck anyway, like around here somewhere. And obviously it's not cancerous. I doubt you can grow cancerous cells whilst on chemotherapy, because it's killing it all. But I don't know, you do think, and it kind of made me realise that's how it's going to be for the rest of my life now. I mean, as soon as there's one little thing that goes wrong, or like if I find a lump or something like that, I'm just going to think the worst, and I don't know, start panicking, or well, not panicking, but you know, I have to go get it checked out and all of that. So yeah, it's just going to be, I think it's just going to be like that for the rest of my life now. But yeah, I mean, the lump went, it was, I don't know what it was, probably nothing. But yeah, it's weird. The one piece of advice I can give to anyone that is going through chemotherapy, whether it's lymphoma or any type of cancer. If you're going through chemotherapy, best piece of advice is do what works for you. As in, you will get told so many different things by so many people, and everyone will have their own opinions. I'm saying don't, like, in my past videos I've said, for example, like, I ice my veins, and the things I do, they might not necessarily work for you. Everyone's different. Everybody's body responds differently to drugs and chemicals and everything. So just find what works for you and do that. Don't really listen too much to people's opinions. I mean, even if you're listening to me and taking it in, try what I say if you want, fair enough, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it and you have to sit there icing your veins, for example. No, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't. Best piece of advice is do what you want to do, what works for you, and do what you have to do. I mean, people might tell you, oh, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, it's bad for you, it's bad for you. I mean, I probably do the same. I try and give people advice, but at the end of the day, listen to you. Don't listen to anyone. You know your body better than anyone else ever will. I know my body more than anyone. I know if something's bad for me or if something's good for me, and I'll do what I want. Best piece of advice, just do what you got to do and do what you want to do. You can probably use that in life as well, to be honest. Well, so I've got my last chemo tomorrow, my 12th one. It's quite crazy. I'm already at the last one, but I say already like it hasn't been a long process. But yeah, I mean, this is probably the first time ever I'm actually looking forward to chemotherapy. Just purely, I know I'm gonna feel so rubbish. I'm gonna be completely dead by the end of it, but it's the last one. Once it's done, I never have to go back in there again and do that. So yeah, it's probably the first one I'm actually looking forward to in a weird way. Still kind of dreading it, but yeah, you know, I just want to get it over and done with. Once that's done, it's done. I'm not sure what else. A lot of people, obviously, after I finish chemo and all this, I'm going to start getting my normal life back, which means going back to work and everything. And a lot of people keep saying to me, oh, you're going to miss being at home, or you're not going to like it when you go to work. No, you don't know me that well if you think that. If you've been at home for the last 6 months, one, I've been at home for 6 months. Two, no one else is at home. Everyone's at work, so it's boring. There's nothing to do. There's no one to even go out with or anything. It's boring. Three, it's a long time to be off work. If you know me, you know how much I used to work. I was a workaholic. Like literally 24/7 I'd be working. So for me to be sitting at home, that's not me. Like I need to keep busy. So I need to get back into work. I work in recruitment. It's a very money driven career, and you have to have hunger for it, and like being off for this amount of time has just made that hunger grow, and I just can't wait to get back in there and get cracking and do what I've always done and excel in it. So yeah, no, it's not at all like I'm going to miss being at home. Okay, maybe I might miss some bits of it, as in, for example, I can walk out of my house in the middle of the day and go for a walk in the sun. You can't do that when you're working. Things like that, yeah, I'd probably miss, but hell no, I do not want to do this again. I'll not miss this ever in my life. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna obviously have to get my life back on track once it's all over. What else? I don't know. It's just all coming to an end now. I tell you what is nice when you get random nice messages. Like a good friend of mine, her mum actually randomly texted me, and just a nice message, like just positive message and happy thoughts and all of that. And it was just a really nice message. It actually made my day when I got it. It's just little things like that, because you don't think people are actually thinking about you. You're so involved in your own life, and you think everyone else is so involved in theirs. You don't actually think people are randomly just thinking. So when you do, I mean, people do things for me. People do a lot for me, if I'm honest, like my family and stuff. But obviously, when you get that, like an unexpected nice message, it kind of makes your day. So that was nice. Yeah, it was just nice. It's those little things that help you get through it. I mean, you could be feeling really down or something, and then you'll get a message like that, and it'll change your whole mood. So yeah, it is really nice. Well, nothing else much really to report. I mean, I just came back from the hospital. I just went for my pre-chemo bloods. While I was there, actually, there was a man. He was there with his wife, and she went to get a coffee for herself. So she came back with a coffee from the machine, and then he was like, "Oh, I want one." So she was like, "Okay, I'll go get it." So she went to get him a coffee, and the machine must have broken. So when she came back with like a cup of hot water, no actual coffee had come out. So she showed it to him, and she was like, "Look, the machine's broken, but I'll give you half of mine." So she was going to pour half of her coffee into his cup, and he just started screaming at her. He's like, "No, I don't want it. I don't want it." And she's like, "Just have half of mine." He's like, "No, I don't want any coffee," and just went off on one and started screaming at her in front of everyone. I just thought it was ridiculous. I mean, I have a temper, and I've probably had my moments where I've got angry over the smallest things. Because obviously, when the man was the one with the cancer, by the way, he was the patient. So I mean, I know it's frustrating when you're going through it and stuff, but I don't think I've been that bad. And it's out of respect. I mean, the woman was just getting him a coffee, and she even offered to give him half of hers, and he was just being a dick about it, really. I mean, in all honesty, like, she should have just slapped him. Like, not that I promote domestic violence and all of that, but you know, like, he was just so ungrateful. And like I said, I understand it can be difficult, but I don't know. I don't think you should act out like that. But yeah, just again, everyone's different. Everyone's different. But I don't know. I kind of feel out of place in hospitals, to be honest. Well, as a cancer patient, because I'm so young. I've not come across anyone my age or younger. I've always been the youngest throughout this whole process of everything I've gone through. Anything I've done, I've been the youngest one. I have nothing in common with anyone else at these hospitals. Apart from the fact that we all have cancer and are being treated for it, I have nothing in common at all with anyone there. So it's a bit weird. I just kind of sit there on my own. Well, everyone just chit-chats amongst themselves. But yeah, it's all over with now, almost. But yeah, I've got my last chemo tomorrow. Chemo number 12, last one. So I'm not gonna, I've said enough in the video, I think. I'm not gonna say much more about it. Just want to go and get it over and done with, and yeah, I'll give you guys an update when it's all over. Again, thanks for the support and everything. Just want to keep my head down, get this last one out of the way with, and then just start recovery. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I'll give you an update as soon as.